As we have been discussing in the last class, while discussing about this Manomaya Kosha, there we discussed that sense of me and mine also takes place in this mind. And while discussing, let us chant verse number 179. अध्यासदोषात् पुरुषस्य संस्कृतिः अध्यासबन्धस्तु मुनेव कल्पितः रजस्तमो दोषवतो विवेकिनः जन्मादिदुःखस्य निदानमेतत्. So now the question arises, why all this thing happens? So finally it comes to the point, because of adhyasa dosha. So adhyasa dosha, in fact in Brahmastra comes adhyasa bhashyam comes based on this. So adhyasa dosha happens because of the defect called superimposition. Like in rope, seeing a snake. That is very common. Sometimes one example is in snake seeing rope. That is more dangerous, okay? But generally, we don't take that example, but in rope, snake, so that because a lot of agitation, lot of this thing, then finally you discover, this is nothing there. So that's why we take in rope, seeing snake. Now says, look, because of this, now this Purushasya of this man, because a person has got this superimposition, this mind does all this thing, and of course because of this adhyasa bandha, and because the superimposition itself is bondage actually, and this bondage is being created because of this reason. Now because of that reason, Raja Tamo Doshavataha, and what happens? One who is Doshavataha, Dosavataha, the one who is affected with, the one who is associated with what? Rajas and Tapas. And who is that person? That person is called avivekina. So that person who is lack in discrimination, means especially when Rajas or Tamas takes over, that time the person loses to exercise the faculty of choice. You can see whenever in your day-to-day life you have failed to exercise your faculty of choice, whenever, you will discover that moment definitely some way or other what might have happened, you might have seen, or you can try to see both ways, that the Rajas and Tamas are predominant at that moment. Because only when Rajas and Tamas are predominant, that time your faculty of choice, that exercising faculty of choice becomes weaker. Somehow you are almost dragged to decide based on Rajas and Tamas. Have you not observed this point? I will give you a beautiful example. This is bad tea concept. Bad coffee, because in India, bad tea, okay? I don't know, this t-shirts they brought, because I have a favorable people, na bad t-shirts, okay? So, what happens? Now, when you get up, this is what they call bed tea. And especially I have seen this bed tea concept very strongly when people come to Himalayas. And especially when you travel, this bed tea works very well. Ooh, and especially Chennai people when they come, because ooh. So nothing like morning to have one, some hot water, okay? They don't look at tea, hot water. So now already while sleeping night, whatever you may say, already your mind is tamas, body is tamas. Now, even if little bit rajas comes, let us say tea creates, supposed to create rajas, but because of tamas and atmosphere doesn't allow, because there is no much energy, heat, again that is also related to tamas. Then what happens? What you will like do? You will like to have that tea or coffee on bed. So that's why perfectly it's called bed tea, you understand? Whether you are on bed tea or after getting up from the bed you drink, that's another point. So I have seen many lazy people, especially these boys and all these things, when they literally on the bed, then they will jump after the tea, then they will jump out of the bed. You understand what I am saying? I have seen cases, especially in our teenage time, especially, okay? In the university time, I have seen it. That's why I am able to recollect that. I am sharing it. Okay? Nothing else. Coming back to the point. So, whenever mind is endowed with rajas and tamas, or in mind rajas and tamas are saturated or predominant or more effective, that time the person is dragged to decide, dragged to exercise the faculty of choice. In fact, there is nothing faculty of choice. Literally you are dragged, then decision is being made. That's why he uses this word called, they are avivekinaha. And of course, because they are avivekinaha, jammani dukhasya nidanam etat. And because of this reason, all sort of dukkha, difficulties, misery, affliction, that which starts with birth, etc. Janma, Marana, Jara, all everything. That's why this mind is what says beautifully. Mind is the cause of the misery. Not only it has got defect of superimposition, also samsrutihi, this also causes, very nicely from the beginning, samsrutihi, that means this also causes the person to take birth. In fact, as we discussed also, mind is the cause of new hopes. Not only birth, hope also another type of birth. So always mind job is, because as long as mind is able to or is capable of creating hopes in you, that long mind is your boss. Means you are forced to listen to your mind. Can you see this point? The day you don't allow your mind to create hopes, will you listen to your mind anymore? But mind job is somehow or other to create hopes. Because the more mind is capable of creating hopes, the more mind becomes stronger and wanted. So, an amazing thing to see in life. And that's why he says, in order to create hopes, mind has to confuse it. Because unless it confuses, can it really create any hopes? Try, let. You can see sometimes the small children confuses you. And the way they confuse you cannot think of. I cannot forget one child, long back. That child and me went to a mall, okay? And we were buying some few things. And that child had his own target. And what he did is, so he said, okay, we'll go. Can we go and see this thing? I said, yes, okay, let us go. What is wrong in it? And I was supposed to get few things. A list I was holding. I was literally holding a list. And the child took me this way, that way, because that child is acquainted with that mall very well. Finally, I got confused. I completely forgot. And at the end of the day, what do you know? The child created such a, okay, this looks nice. Did not ask me. This looks nice. Okay, carry it. Let us take. Because the child target was to buy that. But created such a confusion. Show me so many things. And I lost my track. Then after that, oh, this is nice. I said, okay, please let us buy. What is there? So child got achieve the target. So how a child confuses, means I have really seen that. I came back and I was laughing at myself. I said, wow, perfect mind, yeah. Mind also does the same thing. What does it do? You have decided something. So it will try to show you different possibilities. Can you see? Different angles. And the moment you are fascinated, the moment you give strength to those possibilities, then what happens? Sorry. Then what happens? Now, mind starts creating hopes. And those hopes are nothing, most of the time, called confusion. How? And because of that reason, the person goes through all sort of problem in life. So in short, mind is the cause of all suffering. That's a manoeva manushyanam bandha moksha karanamiti, which also we have seen differently. Mind is alone the cause of both bondage and liberation. Let us read. Atah prahu mano vidyam panditas tattvadarshinaha enaiva brahmyate vishwam Vayurneva Brahmandalam Atah prahu mano vidyam Panditas tattvadarshinaha Eneva brahmyate vishwam Vayuneva Brahmandalam. Therefore, Ataha Prahu. So Prahu means they say, they declare. And who are they? Panditaha Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshina means those who know the truth. And of course they are Panditas, Panda Yasya Astiti, the one who has got the Brahma Vidya, the self-knowledge. So that means, that's why by default, all these temples, especially Puri, okay? So Panda, okay? So Panda don't think they are any ordinary people. But unfortunately, in due course of time, they lost that. So in that family, because they are supposed to have Brahma Vidya. So, but as you know, things, everything goes out, so we say, camphor fades away, but the cloth creates some smell. Like, you know, we have Trivedi, Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Vedi. Like I asked somebody, hey, you are the Dvivedi, what does it mean? I do not know. The person is supposed to be what? Two Vedas. Like, we have Brahma. We have surnames called Brahma. Hota, in Orissa you can see all this thing. Hota, Brahma, Adharyu, Udgata. So it's related to Veda, related to ritual. Brahma is supposed to know. Brahma is Atharvaveda. Yeah, Atharvaveda. It belongs to Atharvaveda, but supposed to know other Vedas. That's why in a ritual Brahma has to be there. Any big rituals, Brahma is there, but now in Orissa they substitute very nicely. This is very funny, very, very interesting thing. I think I have shared with you all. Any ritual you do in Orissa, they will say, we'll do Brahma Varanam. Means we have to invite Brahma. We have to welcome Brahma. So, okay, fine. Nothing wrong in it, okay. For that, okay. Brahma Varanam, nothing much. Okay, one dhoti is required. Okay, that is understood. Then suddenly say one sari. Why sari? You cannot call only Brahma. You have to call also Brahmani. Where from Brahma, Brahmani came? Anyway, let me not get into too much. So here he says, Tattvadarshinaha Panditaha. So those who know the truth, and of course they are Panditaha. So they are, in short, they are the wise people. So they do declare. So what do they declare? They say that Manaha, what is that? Manaha avidyam iti. Very straightforward statement. Manaha avidyam iti. The mind is nothing but called ignorance. Now listen to your mind destroying in one statement, okay? Manaha avidyam iti. Why? They give the beautiful explanation. Yena eva brahmyate vishwam vayuna iva abhramandalam. So the example is by which the mind, everything keeps moving, especially all our experience. And what is this? He says, look, if it is really all our experience related to this world is only governed by the mind, he says, how? Vayuna iva abhramandalam. Example. So if you look at how the clouds are being moved, pushed, pulled, you can use any word, okay? By the wind. In fact, they are the cause of, we have seen already, they are the cause to form the cloud, gather the cloud. They are the cause of raining properly. And again, same wind becomes the cause of what? Take away the cloud. But just disturb the cloud, scatter the cloud, disperse the cloud, there is no rain. So cloud to become cloud, let us say, the rain-bearing cloud to come together and become really cloud, who is the cause? The wind. And same wind also destroys. So how the wind is the cause of the cloud, and everything happens, the effect, both bad or good effect of cloud comes because of the wind. So also the mind and experience. Okay, then if this is the case, what to do? It's really very frightening situation. That's why, what you need to do? Tanmanah sodhanam karyam prayatnena mumukshunam vishuddhe sati chaita, vishuddhe sati chai, what is this? Vishuddhe sati chaitasmin mukti karafalayate. Beautifully. So he says, look, really if you want, the word he uses, karafalayate, and what is that? Mukti. Mukti means liberation. So if you want the liberation to be available as a fruit in your hand. Means that reality, that close, that effective. You understand? If you want the mukti, the liberation, the freedom, the happiness, to be as practical as, if you want to use the word, as practical as personal as real as, what? A fruit that is available in your hand. Then what you need to do? Don't worry, we have medicine, very good medicine. Tataha, tat. Then what you need to do? Mana shodhanam karyam prayatnena. And by whom? Mumukshuna. If you consider yourself as a seeker. This is the point. If you consider yourself as a mumukshu. Suppose if you are artharthi. That's why in our any sankalpa, any puja, any japa, by mechanical evolution, dharma, artha, moksha, kama, chaturvidha, phala, praptyartham. You understand? How mechanical it goes? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, chaturvidha, phala, praptyartham. So I want what? Dharma, all the artha, also I want kama, also I want moksha. How is it possible? All the four together. So that means little bit, anything and everything can come, no problem, okay? And I want all four Purusharthas to come with me. Fantastic, huh? However, if I am artharthi, seeking artha security, I don't have to purify my mind. I have to sharpen my mind. You understand? So also if I am kamarthi, if I am interested in kama pleasure, so what I have to do? I have to go along with the mind. If I am interested in dharma, now what I have to do? I have to train my mind. Whereas if I am moksharthi, this is the point, mumukshu, if I am a seeker of liberation, what I need to do? I need to do sodhanam of mind. Mana sodhanam karyam iti, and that to prayatna. Prayatna means by putting effort. That too continuously, constantly. Not like, no, I have tried last 2 years, 3 years. Now I am tired. Now let me give you a break. If you say after tried 3 years, I want a break, that means you have never tried 3 years, okay? Some people say, yeah, Swamiji, I did all these things for last 3 years, I am tired. So that means don't cheat others, you have already cheated yourself. That means you have never tried at all. Because maybe as artharthi or as kamarthi or even maybe as dharmarthi. You understand? Seeker of dharma to go better lokas or get better experience or looking for security or looking for pleasures. You might have tried many things to train your mind. But don't that connect with moksha, liberation. Don't say that you are a seeker of truth. Because to become a seeker of truth, you have to be honest first. Because without honesty, nobody can become a seeker of truth. It's very difficult. That's why a seeker of truth, when it tries with mind, only to purify the mind, only to make the mind available for the teaching. Please understand. The criteria of a seeker is nothing. Again I am highlighting this point. The criteria of a seeker is nothing But to make sure the mind is available for the teaching. And the more mind is available for the teaching, the more mind is available for anything and everything. And making mind available for the present, that is what they say, the power of the present, mindfulness, all these words, no, to confuse, that's another way. Once the mind is available, so the availability of the mind is called purification of the mind. That is what called preparedness of mind. And for that, nobody can complain. Either you do or you don't do. If you do, neither you can take credit. If you don't do, you cannot say, hey look, I did and I'm tired. It does not work. It is exactly, nobody announces. That, you know, I went to bathroom and a lot of things went away. I don't want to talk in details, okay? I went to restroom, bathroom is the wrong one. I went to restroom, a lot of things went away. And the worst part is a lot of things did not go also. Unless there is something wrong with you, okay? So also the mind. If you say, my mind is not available for the teaching, that means what? It very clearly shows that your mind is available for some other thing. And when mind is available for some other thing, how can your mind be available for the teaching? It is impossible. So that's why, mumukshunaha, by the seeker of liberation. This manasodhanam, purification of the mind to be done. That too, prayatnena, with very carefully, with putting lot of efforts. Then only says, etasmin, by which mukti karaphalayate, because already you are a free person. Only mind creates bondage. Only mind makes you to travel here and there. That's why you can see, to become happy, you don't need anything to do. Just take care of your mind. The more you take care of the mind, the more you are happy. Of course, sometimes you take care of mind, or sometimes mind takes care of you. Especially when mind is full of tamas, don't worry, mind takes care of you. But that is temporary. Like the story goes. You know this popular story. In fact, somehow when I was a teenager, in early age of teenage, I was inspired with this story. But I did not look at the wrong side of it. Now I see the wrong side of it. But somehow this really inspired me, this story. In fact, I have quoted many times, many places. Like a person gets down from the car because that person belongs to the same village, has gone to overseas and worked and established himself and comes back. So coming back to the village, was so disgusted. These people are lazy, good for nothing, doing nothing. Look, so much resources are there. They are not doing, still they are enjoying their life, sleeping, nothing doing. It's a horrible attitude. And seeing this thing, he got down from the car, saw one man relaxing under a tree. And that too, the tree is nearby the river, and somehow what a breeze comes, wow, so nice. And he says, hey, look, get up. You know, you are just near the mine, gold mine. Then the fellow with a great reluctance, please. Hey, you are near the gold mine, do you understand? No, what gold mine? Gold what? Look, you are near the river. Why are you having this miserable life? Look, there is no proper chapel, nothing, you are just lying down. Look at me. In my car, AC is running, I can really relax on the AC. Oh. Then what to do? Why can't you fish? Instead of lying down here, start fishing. I said, okay. By fishing, what I'll do? What I'll get? So you will earn money, okay? After earning, what I will do? What I'll do? hey, you will have better life. Okay? Then after that you will start doing your company. Okay? After that what? After that definitely you will have many people to work under you. Okay? Fine. After that what? After that you will enjoy your life. Then this man said, what I am doing now? You are asking me to do everything in order to enjoy, and now I am enjoying, okay? Please, will you please go, let me enjoy, because half of the sleep is disturbed, please go, let me enjoy some more time. What I am highlighting here is, this is, I just got negative side, okay? Don't get into negative side. In fact, to be very honest, this story was very much inspiring for me in my teenage time. I said, wow, so better sit in one place, not like sleep. Sit in one place, do something, rather than going round, do all these things. But Prarabdha pushes, God knows when and how. That's another point. So coming back, the more one takes care of the mind, the more one is happy. The more one follows the mind, the more one is unhappy. So it is all about training, taking care of the mind, not fulfilling the mind. How? Let us see how and what goes on and on. What is to be done? If this is the case, I have to take care of the mind. How do you say to take care of the mind? What is to be done? He says, look, mokshe kasaktya vishayeshu ragam nirmulya sanyasya cha sarva karma sasraddhaya ya sravanadinishthah rajas svabhavam sa dhunoti buddhehe. Sa means the person, the seeker, and of course who does all these things. He, let us say. Dhunoti. Dhunoti means purifies. Removes what? There are few things. Dhunoti is actually to remove. And from that, of buddhe, of the intellect. So what are that? What are the things mainly? Raja Swabhavam iti. The mind that is Rajasic nature. Because when mind is Rajasic nature, as you know, that means tamas will be behind. If mind is Rajasic, next to that sattva is there, somehow you are taken care. But most of the time, if tamas is secondary, primarily rajas, tamas secondary, namesake sattva, you are finished. Because life is, literally we say Shani Dasa starts. Real Shani Dasa is, if you want to talk, that tamas is predominant. Rajas is predominant. Next to rajas there is tamas. And the best part is, just imagine this point, okay? 50% rajas, 49% tamas. And 1% sattva. Perfect. Shani, Rahu, Ketu, 3 are together. You understand? It is not only one. You have anything you do, that is only confusion. Nothing will be happening in you. Okay? Nothing. Because the mind will not allow it. And this is what happens. Many people, I have seen also many people, many cases, that this is the chat says very nicely. In fact, in big mutts, I'll tell you the trick of mutts. When they decide a successor, they analyze the chart very carefully. I don't want to tell a great Swamiji's name. In fact, when they tried to see his chart, they saw something was wrong. But somehow they glossed over. They made that Swami as something. Then after that, lot of issues happened. So they analyze the chart very carefully. Any acharyas, they don't just like that, they don't take it. They outwardly, they superficial, they say, hey, all these things. No. Because, please understand, Jyotisham is Vedangam. So being Vedangam, part of the Anga of the Vedas, they have to look at that. Without that, they cannot decide. So that's why, especially in marriage and other things, any relationship, we do look at. Because if you ask me personally, that without looking at the Jatakam, that Kundali, that horoscope part, the astrological chart, marriage is not, to me, not acceptable. I can't accept personally. Okay, nowadays I am old person, new person. Okay, it's okay. Really, it doesn't work in a long time. Unless something is good, maybe, and you discover, this is what also I have discovered, wherever it has worked without looking at this thing, and if you try to match the horoscope, you will see 100% it will match. It works. So here, what I am highlighting, I went a little bit different here, that when Rajas is predominant, definitely all sort of problem, all sort of conflict, and of course backed up by this tamas. So one need to improve or increase the sattva aspect. That's the point, okay? Number one. So then what has to be done? Because the job of the mind is, by itself, will get into Rajasic mode. As I told you, the more mind confuses you, the more you are under the spell of the mind. So in order to confuse, mind has to be Rajas. And whatever you do, because through the mind you have to handle mind, there is no choice. Then mind becomes more and more Rajasic. That's why when you have a problem, what you do? You go around like, many people walk and go around, like, it's exactly like, I cannot forget this example. I think I have told you this example. Few people, after taking marijuana, trying to decide why did Ravana steal the geometry, why did Ravana steal Sita? I hope you remember that, okay? So whole night they discussed. All of them have taken marijuana, full, naively. Then after that they are discussing whole night, why did Ravana steal Sita? And after discussing whole night, a group of big number of people, in the early morning towards that they came to a conclusion. What is that conclusion? Because Sita took away the geometry box. And everybody, yes. Now this is the new point, this is the right point, you understand? So, through the mind, you want to handle the mind. And that mind is very smart. Do you know what happens? It nicely subsides. So pretends that, okay, my mind is perfect. That's why through the mind you cannot handle the mind. So he says, Mokshaha ekasaktiya Visheshu ragam nirmulyam sanyasya cha sarva karma. Beautiful way of looking at it. What he says. So you need to have what? Moksha ekasaktiya. you have to give the direction to your mind. First point. So what is that direction? Giving direction is moksha, the liberation, is one target that I have. That means I don't have any other preferences. I don't have anything to look at other than me being free from myself. Means I have to tell mind, hey look, me being free from myself, it means what? Hey, I have to be free from you only. You understand? To become free means what? We all think me being free from you, me being free from the object, me being free from anything and everything. No, me being free from the clutches of my mind. So instead of that, me saying here, moksha, the liberation, is the first target. So fixing the target very carefully. I don't have anything. The first and foremost priority, in fact that is only priority, called moksha. And of course, once this is being fixed, automatically what happens? Now, I will never be what? Visheshu ragam nirmulya. Automatically, the attachment towards the sense objects will not have any meaning to me. So that means what? When it has no, that means I have to root out, I have to withdraw, I have to come out of it, or that will not have any meaning or impact in me. What is that? Ragam, attachment towards any sense objects. Because I have already targeted, this is my target, that is called freedom, nothing else. Now, because of that reason, what do I need to do? Sanyasya cha sarva karmaha. So I need to take a sannyasa. Renounce all karma. There are two methods to renounce. So renouncing all karmas. So this renouncement can happen, renunciation can happen by will. In fact, morning class this is. Sannyasa can happen two ways. In short, a renunciation can happen by will, what technically called as karma sannyasa. Other one is called renunciation by knowledge. That is called jnana sannyasa. So jnana, that's why jnanena eva karma sannyasa. Only by the help of the knowledge, when one takes karma sannyasa, that is the ultimate. So that's why, but here he says, better take a karma sannyasa by will. Why? Because so that you will have shraddha, sat shraddhaya. Develop the shraddha. For what? Shraddha for the teacher and the teaching. So without this shraddha with the teacher and the teaching, nothing is going to work. That's very clear. And what you do, then with that, sravanadi nishtha. Now you get committed to Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasana. The moment you get committed to Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasana, you will start discovering the Rajasic aspect of your mind goes down. Can you see this point? In fact, when you are a Rajasic and a Tamasic person, or whenever Rajas and Tamas is predominant in your mind, you cannot listen to Vedanta continuously. Impossible. It doesn't work. There will be some issue. In fact, when people get dropped from Vedanta, we have seen few cases. Halfway people get dropped. Definitely, astrological there will be some issue. Unless there is astrological issue, person will not get dropped from Vedanta. Impossible. And also we look at this way. When tamas and rajas is predominant, somehow or other, you will not be really interested in Vedanta in long run. On and off. Because when you are exposed to the class, especially you can see now, when you are regularly attending a class, whether you like it or not, your mind is being hit every day, being beaten up every day. So when mind is being beaten up every day, what does it mean? Some malam, impurities, is being taken away. Especially the rajasic aspect of the mind is being analyzed. How long this mind, because mind, if is comfortable with this, after some time and say, all these things are not right. You may say, like, this methodology of teaching is wrong because your mind is perfect. Hey, your mind is not okay. You understand? Never ever point out the methodology of teaching, which runs for lineage, ages, not only ages, which runs for different kalpas, different creations after creations. This teaching methodology continues, of course, with the different words, different examples. However, so here he says, only when there is Shraddha and of course Shravanadi Nishtha, you are committed to Shravana Mananam Nitidhyasana, then only you will be able to take care of your Rajasic aspect of mind. Any other method you apply, the Rajasic method, Rajasic mind will not go away, including sometimes japa. Remember this point. Sometimes all rituals, because they are very subtle. There what happens? Rajas becomes predominant, Sattva becomes secondary. That's the best example of Vishwamitra Rishi. When he was a Rajarshi, that's why he was called in the beginning called Rajarshi. Why did he do tapas? Why did he do tapas? What a great penance, great austerity he did. In fact, later on he became the CEO of Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra came through him only. Vishwamitra Rishi, Anushtup Chanda, the Gayatri Chanda. So there what happens? Rajas was there in him. In fact, because of that reason, he could create a parallel heaven for Trishanku. So what I am highlighting here is the Shravana, Mananam and Nitidhyasana only takes care of the Rajasic aspect of the mind. Can you see this point? So the more a person spends time in Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasana, you will discover the person is really becomes better and better. How? Let us look at the next verse so that we will complete this Manomaya. What is the conclusion of this so long talking about Manomaya? Manamayena pi bhavet paratman hyadyantavatvat parinami vabhavat dukhatmakatvat vishayatva heto. Drashta hi drishyatmataya na drishtaha. Okay, why I talked all these things so long? Very nicely Adi Shankaraचार्य highlights here. Look, Manomaya na api bhavet paratma. Look at your Manomaya kosha as Atma. Sorry. He uses word paratma, not atma, because sometimes mind is also called atma. That's why the word mahatma hijacked by one person, okay? Because everybody is mahatma, okay? So any sadhu is called Mahatma. Mahanscha so Atma. Atma means your mind, whose mind is great, the one who accommodates, not the one who accommodates only Muslims. Okay? Or one community. I'm sorry to say. We have to be very clear and we have to redefine the word. So, however, here he says, Paratma, not Atma. Absolute Atma. So, what he says, don't say that, look, Adi Shankaracharya knew that this is going to happen in India, so better to use the Paratma, not Atma. No. Please, God sake, don't do that, okay? Don't twist it too much, okay? So, Manomaya na pichet Paratma. So, definitely, Manomaya Kosha cannot be called as absolute truth. Why? Because Adi Antavatvat, it has a beginning, also it has got an end. So if that has got something beginning and also end, it cannot be what? Paratma. Second thing is what? Parinami abhavat. So that means what? It has got a parinama. So parinami abhavat means absence of not changing, means that which is subject to change. It is a parinama swabhavat. Then dukkhatmakatvat, which is more dangerous. So dukkhatmakatvat means that which causes suffering. Mind never gives me happiness. Always it only causes what? Suffering. So lollipop finally makes me to eat bitter. Like, all these sugar coated tablets, you understand? If you cannot digest, you know what hell you go through. And not only that, interestingly, Vishatva hetoho drashta hi drushyatmataya na drushthaiti. Because it is Vishatva hetoho. Vishatva hetoho means being the cause of a subject matter. So that means subject matter means object of knowledge. So being an object, subject matter of any knowledge, because we are discussing about mind. Forget our discussion, no, we don't talk. I meditate. Okay, in meditation also you try to see. And because of that is what happens? Automatically, drushyatmataya, in your meditation, when you close your eyes, you try to analyze your mind. How do you analyze your mind? How do you see your mind? That means that becomes object of seeing. So drushyatmataya, as it is drushyam, as it is seen, definitely, please understand, that cannot be drashta either. And we say very clearly, drashta na drushta. That which is seen, that which is known, cannot be seer, cannot be me. So because mind is seen, mind is known to me, I cannot be mind. That means the Manomaya Kosha is out. So I am not Manomaya Kosha. Okay? Then what I need to do? Another is there, another two more koshas, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. We'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.